Sekali orang menjejakkan kaki di Malaysia, pasti akan kembali lagi. Yes, itu bener, nyata, real apa adanya. Ini bukan kita yang ngomong, bukan orang Malaysia yang ngomong, tapi mereka yang dari luar negara yang bilang, guys ya. Indah dipandang mata luar negara, guys ya. Semoga bisa menjadi contoh acuan kepada Indonesia juga pastinya, sebab negara tetangga yang paling dekat gitu loh. Apa salahnya sih kita belajar dengan apa yang ada di Malaysia? Jadi pelancong nih baru turun bandara aja itu, guys ya, itu melihat sekeliling udah rasa safe, udah rasa selamat. Jadi tidak ada keraguan gitu ya. Hai, hello guys, assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera semuanya. Apa kabar cuy ya? Semoga selalu dalam keadaan baik dan semoga selalu dilimpahkan rezekinya. Amin ya robbal alamin. Oke guys, kita akan tunaikan lagi requestan daripada teman-teman semuanya. Thank you banget nih ya yang sudah memberikan link video menarik untuk kita share di channel ini, guys ya. Ini ramai orang luar negara membicarakan negara Malaysia. Ternyata ini alasannya. Wow, seperti apa ini, guys ya? Orang luar memang, ya kita tahu guys ya, banyak sekali orang-orang luar nih yang sudah datang di Malaysia itu akan merasa takjub dan pasti akan kembali lagi gitu loh. Jadi dia sudah jatuh hati boleh dikatakan, guys ya. Sekali datang, pasti datang lagi. Itu real, guys ya. Link ada di description ya. Daripada Musa update, bismillah and play. Nah, seperti apa guys ya kisah ini?
Jadi mereka itu banyak seperti Indonesia kan, banyak keindahan alam. Tapi mereka itu sangat api pembuatannya, ya setuju. Sangat dikelola dengan sangat-sangat baik. Gak ada lah ceritanya pungli. Indonesia juga gak banyak pungli sih. Cuma maksudnya di sana itu gak ada satupun pungli.
Memang menurut gue Malaysia ini memang menarik untuk dikunjungi.
Ramah wisatawan asing banget.
Dan orang luar mesti terkejut. Tapi sekarang I faham Malaysia ni memang lain. Saya pun tak tahu nak rasa apa, kagum ya, kelakar pun ya. Tapi I suka.
But Malaysia is good for you to grow. For example, like in here, most of people can speak in English, but in Indonesia, not much of them like speak in English. So I can say that Malaysia is good for if you want to grow and like maybe have a lot of more opportunity in Malaysia.
Yes, I agree. As she mentioned it, Malaysia is a good country to live, to grow.
Malaysia, definitely. I don't know the formula, but you have created something very special and very unique, welcoming the foreigners and making them the volunteer ambassadors of Malaysia.
But my old man, he's different. He is old school. Now he is an ex-detective chief inspector at one of the world's most famous police organisations, the Met. Now he's his first ever time in Southeast Asia and first time in Malaysia. He's dealt with murder investigations, shootings, gang violence, corruption, the whole lot. How safe is Malaysia after his first day? Let's find out.
But certainly as a newcomer to a city like this, just landing, you just feel, it does feel quite safe.
Having completed my whole round trip around Southeast Asia, done Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Philippines, Vietnam, I would say that Malaysia has, what's shocking for me, so many cultures in one.
Malaysia kembali menjadi perbincangan di kalangan wisatawan mancanegara. Banyak yang takjub dengan bagaimana negara kecil ini mampu mengelola sektor pariwisatanya dengan sangat baik. Kebersihan, keteraturan, serta sistem yang transparan membuat pengalaman wisata menjadi nyaman dan menyenangkan. Tidak ada biaya tersembunyi atau pungutan tambahan yang mengganggu, sesuatu yang jarang mereka temui di negara asal mereka. Selain itu, keberagaman budaya dan agama di Malaysia justru menjadi daya tarik tersendiri. Semua tempat ibadah, dari masjid hingga pura dan vihara, terawat dengan baik, mencerminkan harmoni dan rasa saling menghormati. Fasilitas wisata pun dibuat agar bisa dinikmati oleh semua orang, dengan harga yang relatif terjangkau.
Malaysia itu
Oke guys ya, oke kejap. Ini adalah salah satu hal yang positif banget ya, yang dimana itu para pelancong ini tidak was-was gitu ya dengan adanya pungli, pungutan liar. Dan Malaysia ini memang mengatur untuk pariwisatanya ini dengan, nggak bisa diungkapkan kata-kata sih guys ya. Dia itu memang menstruktur semua tempat wisatanya itu dengan baik. tanpa ada pungli, tanpa ada parkir liar, tanpa ada masuk secara gratis, itu pun banyak banget gitu loh ya, tanpa ada yang membayar, apalagi kalau setakat pantai, taman dan lain sebagainya itu free loh. Itu beda banget sama ada di Konoha cuy. Konoha dibuat taman kecil aja masuknya bayar cuy, parkirnya bayar cuy, makanan di restoran ya, di tempat wisata, kemudian ini tem ramai atau tem hari libur itu pasti harganya melambung. Itu ada loh guys. Jadi macam tidak terkontrol gitu. Apa sengaja dimanfaatin tem-tem hari raya, hari libur seperti itu, langsung aja nih, inilah waktu kita untuk mencari cuan. Harusnya pemerintah kan hadir di situ, mengontrol langsung menu semuanya, harga semuanya, tidak ada ketok harga. Harusnya seperti itu guys. Ini boleh mencontoh lah, negara tetangga ini sukses loh pariwisatanya. Oke, lanjut.
Fun fact-nya itu yang menurut gua itu paling kerasa itu daerah tempat wisata. Jadi mereka itu banyak wisata. Seperti Indonesia kan banyak keindahan alam. Tapi mereka itu sangat rapi pembuatannya. Ya, setuju. Sangat dikelola dengan sangat-sangat baik. Gak ada lah ceritanya pungli. Indonesia juga gak banyak pungli sih, cuma maksudnya di sana itu gak ada satupun pungli. Jadi kayak lu warga negara asing harganya segini, warga negara lokal segini, udah itu aja. Gak ada tuh kayak tambahan ini tambahan itu, terus masyarakatnya lu lewat minta lagi tuh gak ada. Itu satu. Kedua, benar-benar bagus. Mau etnis apapun bagus. Contoh pura Hindu bagus, masjid bagus, dirapihin. Terus wihara juga bagus gitu. Jadi semuanya bagus dan juga biasanya murah. Jadi orang itu tertarik untuk rekreasi di sana. Memang menurut gue Malaysia ini memang menarik untuk dikunjungi. Ramah wisatawan asing banget.
Apa ada di Malaysia tetapi di Bosnia tak ada. Tol percuma. Ini biasa di Malaysia, setiap kali ada perayaan besar, hari raya, Deepawali, Christmas ke Tahun Baru Cina, mesti akan ada tol percuma. Dan orang luar mesti terkejut kalau di Bosnia pun raya atau tidak, tol mesti kena bayar. Tapi di Malaysia bukan sahaja tol percuma, tapi orang ramai seronok jam atas jalan raya. Tak per jam, janji tol free. Tapi sekarang I faham Malaysia ni memang lain. Cara dia meraihkan perayaan memang bukan setakat buat rumah terbuka dengan makanan berlambak. Tapi kerajaan pun nak sambut sekali dengan rakyat. Sebab tu diorang bagi tol percuma. Saya pun tak tahu nak rasa apa, kagum ya, pun ya. Tapi I suka sebab benda macam ni rasa kita hargai sebagai rakyat. So happy holidays kepada anda semua dan berhati-hati di jalan raya. Apa lagi best dan unik ada di Malaysia yang tak ada di negara lain? Cuba share.
What are the
Oke guys ya, ini cukup menarik sekali guys ya, yang dimana itu memang untuk video first tadi Malaysia itu cukup bagus untuk mengelola pariwisatanya. Jadi wisatawan pun tidak akan ragu gitu loh untuk masuk tempat wisata tersebut, sebab di situ sudah ada tertera ya, untuk harga masyarakat tempatan segini, untuk pelancong segini, itu tertera, dan itu tidak ada pungutan liar yang lainnya guys. Jadi cukup meyakinkan lah untuk pelancong-pelancong hadir ataupun datang di Malaysia. Dan untuk tol percuma ini aku respect banget, setiap hari perayaan loh, padahal perayaan di Malaysia ini kan cukup banyak guys ya, dan itu adalah salah satu di mana pemerintah itu juga hadir gitu, ikut merayai. Jadi hadiah nih untuk masyarakatnya, untuk luar biasa loh guys. Jangan pikir satu keretanya berapa, ini dikalikan berapa hari cuy. Respect, salut, terbaik loh guys ya. Oke, lanjut.
some differences you found between Indonesia and Malaysia in terms of culture or anything?
Okay, I want to say like in Indonesia, if you like nature, I think Indonesia is like good place for nature. Like for example, like Bali, there's a lot of tourism, like people coming from many countries in Indonesia. There's beaches and everything, but Malaysia is good for you to grow. For example, like in here, most of people can speak in English, but in Indonesia, not much of them like speak in English. So I can say like Malaysia is good for if you want to grow and like maybe have a lot of more opportunity in Malaysia.
Yes, I agree. As she mentioned, Malaysia is a good country to live, to grow, because here you are going to have a lot of opportunities. Well, Indonesia is also a very beautiful country, amazing people.
Not long ago, I got back from Jakarta when I went for the event, and I met quite a number of expats, working professionals, and foreigners living there. And as usually the intro chat goes, I would ask them how do they like the experience of living in Jakarta. And when I was listening to the answers, I remember I did a TikTok around 10 videos ago saying that Malaysia has created a very unique relationship with the foreigners here. Most of the expats or foreigners that I know here would behave like Malaysian tigers, defend Malaysia, speak only positive things about Malaysia, ready to fight anyone that would complain about anything in Malaysia. But then some of the comments were suggesting that it's always like that any foreigner moving to the new country would speak highly of this country, otherwise it would look bad on them that they made that choice. Or also that, you know, when you move to the new country, you are more excited, everything is new, so you're more likely to appreciate more things. When I was asking that question to the expats in Jakarta, I was really curious if this theory from the comments is right, or is Malaysia really unique? And also, I was actually thinking I will find the Indonesian tigers, or those Indonesian ambassadors, because most of the expats I've met there, they are from Europe, and we compared those two lifestyle in Southeast Asia or in Europe. I mean, it's pretty hard not to get excited about living in this part of the world. And also I thought that Indonesia will be quite similar to Malaysia. I mean, the weather is similar, culture is quite similar, a lot of food is kind of similar, the language is quite similar too. I was very surprised that no one, not even one of those foreigners I spoke with, behaved like the foreigners in Malaysia, like the Malaysian tigers. I gotta love my hair in this weather. It's not that they were unhappy or criticizing living in Jakarta, but they were very clear about their pros and cons. And all of them liked living there and appreciated a lot of things, but they were also very vocal about the things that they didn't appreciate or they didn't like. That was definitely very, very different, because I rarely meet that very clear balance of things I like and I don't like. In Malaysia, mostly people just go on that crazy experience sharing, how they love it, or the situation to back it up, how unique it is, and so on and so on. The theory from the comments did not work in Indonesia. And also, there was one thing that was making me so happy and extra grateful, was when few of those people, they don't know each other, completely unrelated, they would also tell me when I was listening to them saying about the things that they don't really love, they would say, yeah, but you don't get it. You live in KL, you're so lucky. I'm so jealous of you living in Malaysia. And I was like, well, can't disagree. So yeah, Malaysia, definitely. I don't know the formula, but you have created something very special and very unique, welcoming the foreigners and making them the volunteer ambassadors of Malaysia.
So guys, my parents are in town for the first ever time, and if you know me, I'm a London boy, born and raised, but my old man, he's different. He is old school. Now he is an ex-detective chief inspector at one of the world's most famous police organisations, the Met. Now he's in his first ever time in Southeast Asia and first time in Malaysia. He's dealt with murder investigations, shootings, gang violence, corruption, the whole lot. How safe is Malaysia after his first day? Let's find out.
But certainly, as a newcomer to a city like this, just landing, you just feel, it does feel quite safe. Service is really good. It's a beautiful city. It's high rise and all that. But I mean, it's got a nice international vibe. It does feel safe, and that you can't say that for a lot of cities. I've done many years, at least in London. Yeah, no, it does feel quite safe.
But I'm not gonna lie, traveling in...
Oke guys ya, oke kejap ya. Ini tuh merasa selamat nih. Jadi pelancong nih baru turun bandara aja itu guys ya. Itu melihat sekeliling udah rasa safe, udah rasa selamat. Jadi tidak ada keraguan gitu ya. Sebab itu rame pelancong-pelancong cewek, wanita daripada manapun itu kalau jalan tengah malam di Malaysia itu pun merasa safe, merasa aman. Beda sama negara yang lain cuy. Luar biasa loh, ini pengakuan orang asing ya, bukan bualan semata, bukan orang Malaysia sendiri yang berkuar-kuar nih negaraku bagus nih, bukan ya guys ya, bukan, ini orang asing sendiri, real, apa yang dia nampak, apa yang dia lihat, apa yang dia rasakan gitu setelah sampai di Malaysia guys. Oke.
Malaysia is crazy every single time because every time I'm Kuala Lumpur, I don't want to leave Kuala Lumpur, and then when I leave Kuala Lumpur to travel Malaysia, I don't want to come back to Kuala Lumpur because each city is so unique. Example, this city Ipoh, we've been here the first time 2 years ago, when just COVID started. I remember it was so weird when we came because there were no like tourists, zero foreigners. We were just the only ones, and we were going like exploring. There are so many things here. I would say maybe even Ipoh is number 2, my favorite city after Kuala Lumpur, because there's so many hidden gems over here. The first time we've been to Ipoh, it's like so weird feeling, guys, because it's like you came back home, or I don't know, even though like we spent here I think a few weeks.
It's a beautiful
2 years
city.
ago.
It's clean, beautiful. I like the vibes.
Yes.
Are you a Muslim in the West? Well, if you are, then you know that the grocery store struggle is real. But here in Malaysia, just like the Lion King, everything the light touches is yours. Except for the Shadowlands, the elephant graveyards where they keep the non-halal section. Because yes, Malaysia is not technically a Muslim country, but overwhelmingly the majority of the population is Muslim, therefore halal rules apply.
Malaysia is so different from what I imagined. I'm a foreigner in Cyberjaya, and here are things that are totally the opposite for coming here. The first thing is mosques. I really didn't expect that mosques would be this beautiful in Malaysia. I feel that Malaysia really cares about the design of the mosques, and since day one in Malaysia it really caught my attention. For example, Raja Haji Fi Sabilillah Mosque, which we have in Cyberjaya, the design is really outstanding. And of course the rain. I remember in my first few weeks in Malaysia, I was having my nap afternoon and it was raining heavily, and I remember that I woke up because of the strong thunder. So back then I was honestly scared, but now after a few years of living in Malaysia, the heavy rain is nothing to me. So when it's heavily raining, I continue my life pretending like nothing is happening. And guys, I think it's time for me to learn Bahasa Malayo. Before coming to Malaysia, I was told that I can live in Malaysia without learning Bahasa Malayo, and this was true. But after a while and after living for a few years in Malaysia, I feel like it's time to learn Bahasa Malayo. So when you get deeper in the Malaysian community, you will need Bahasa Malayo. But now, thankfully, I know some Malay words. So, mantap. And guys, please tell me why your chili is so spicy. I have tried the Malaysian sambal and this was my reaction. It's so spicy, guys. How can you handle it? So tell me, what is the thing that shocked you the most when you came to Malaysia?
Hey guys, let's talk about your body change in Malaysia. That's a very unusual topic and I've never heard anyone talking about it, so let's go for it. I'm not gonna lie, first time when we came to Malaysia in 2019, we faced acclimatization process, and actually it happened also last year when we came here. It was like, high blood pressure, we didn't feel well, we were sweating a lot, we had headache because of the humidity here in the air. But actually, when you kind of overcome this process, your body changes and it's absolutely amazing. So the first thing I noticed, you can easily go to the street and wearing jeans when it's like past 30 degrees and you don't feel hot. The second thing I was also very shocked about is the sweating. That's kind of logic, when it's hot, the human is, most of the cases, is sweating, right? But what I noticed so far here in Malaysia, the body stopped sweating. You can get some of the, oily skin or something on the T-zone, or I don't know, somewhere on your hands or something like that. But the majority of the zones that mostly are people sweating in, they're not wet. The next thing, guys, your skin is very hydrated because of the humidity in the air, and actually you don't need even to use like the big majority of creams and stuff like that. Me personally, I'm just using the essence from Cosrx and a couple of different toners from different Korean and Japanese brands, and that's pretty much enough. And of course it's sunscreen, but that's it. Like, you don't feel anything else, and the skin feels so humid and hydrated. That is gorgeous. And the last part I would like to mention would be something about water and the climate in general. So the water in Malaysia is really clean. The water here doesn't have any heavy metals or things that can damage your hair, so they're growing fast, they look healthy, and actually my hair loss that started around 2 months ago stopped here in Malaysia. So all in all, it's just an amazing place with amazing climate, and yeah, that's how my body changed in Malaysia in just a couple of months.
So here today, guys, we are in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, in a beautiful building. I arrived yesterday to Kuala Lumpur, and I want to tell you my first thoughts of Malaysia after only 24 hours. People are very kind here, and for having completed my whole round trip around Southeast Asia, done Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Philippines, Vietnam, I would say that Malaysia has, what's shocking for me, so many cultures in one. I met and I've seen a lot of people from across the world. I've never seen that many people, like from Africa, South America, North America, Europe, all over Australia and Asia. So I was really impressed by first countries that I visit that have so much different culture. Food is cheap. I would say that even life in general is cheap for if you're from Europe, you're coming here. And yeah, for the moment I just have the grey sky, so I cannot really talk about landscapes yet. I'm waiting a bit, but I'm very excited to be here. Something that really made me love about Kuala Lumpur, they have in a shopping center their own theme park. Yeah, inside theme park. Remind me a little bit of Dubai with their like ski resort inside, like kind of a shopping center. So I don't know, but at least it's inside a big building. And here too, they have their inner theme park. Hey, you don't even need like the weather to be claiming good today to have that. So yeah, that was very interesting. So that's my first thought on Kuala Lumpur.
Hal-hal seperti inilah yang membuat banyak orang luar negeri kagum dan menjadikan Malaysia sebagai contoh.
Bener.
Pengelolaan yang baik, kedisiplinan, dan rasa tanggung jawab bersama terhadap lingkungan menjadi kunci utamanya. Semoga ini bisa menjadi inspirasi bagi banyak negara, termasuk kita, untuk terus memperbaiki dan membangun tempat-tempat wisata yang lebih nyaman, bersih, dan ramah bagi semua orang.
Betul. Oke guys ya, cukup menarik sekali ya. Daripada Mosa update nih, banyak sekali video-video menarik daripada channel ini. Silahkan klik link di description guys ya. Ya, kembali lagi ke topik ya, bahwa pertama tadi, sekali orang menjejakkan kaki di Malaysia pasti akan kembali lagi. Yes, itu bener, nyata, real apa adanya. Ini bukan kita yang ngomong, bukan orang Malaysia yang ngomong, tapi mereka yang dari luar negara yang bilang guys ya. Tahniah sekali lagi. Malaysia ini cukup bagus untuk mengurus pariwisatanya dengan ya, kembali lagi ke SDM juga guys ya. Ini bukan pekerjaan pemerintah doang. Jadi baur membaur antara pemerintahnya, antara dengan masyarakatnya, itu baur membaur, saling menjaga. Nah, buktinya seperti ini. Indah dipandang mata luar negara guys. Respect and salute ya. Semoga bisa menjadi contoh acuan kepada Indonesia juga pastinya, sebab negara tetangga yang paling dekat gitu loh. Apa salahnya sih kita belajar dengan apa yang ada di Malaysia, dengan cara pengurusannya yang benar, tanpa ada korupsi, dan pariwisatanya bagus, dan juga SDM masyarakatnya itu di atas kita cuy. Sebab itu tidak ada pungli dan lain sebagainya. Kalau menurut kalian seperti apa guys? Tinggalkan komenan terbaik Anda ya. Mungkin sekian dulu untuk informasi kali ini. Jumpa di video selanjutnya. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.